Chapter 51, Heaven's Path. Golden body by the corner. Books are stacked densely on the bookshelves, and they are all on cultivation techniques and related subjects. There are manuals on Fighter 1 Dan, 2 Dan, 3 Dan, and 4 Dan. Similar to Hongqian Academy, the higher the tier is, the less the number of books there are on it. As for Fighter 6 Dan manuals, there are only about 10 books or so on it. The number of books may be few, but it beats having none at all. Initially, he thought that it would be like the Compendium Pavilion and that he would be able to find a few hundred or even 1,000 books here for his choosing. Now, it is clear to see that he is overthinking it. However, after pondering over it for a moment, the reason for the difference between the two becomes apparent to him. Everyone has a different physique, and thus the suitable cultivation technique for them differs from one individual to the other. Thus, it is clear that the Academy would require a huge amount of secret manuals and books so as to ensure that there are sufficient resources for the teachers to cater to the needs of their students, as well as to expand their horizons. However, for an individual, they only require 1 or 2 cultivation techniques suited for them. It is already considered a huge collection for Lu Chen to have over 10 books on Fighter 6 Dan cultivation techniques. Casually picking up the 10 books, he flips through them lightly, hualala, and corresponding secret manuals appear in his mind. Why? Are these cultivation techniques too inferior to appeal to you? Seeing the youngster pick those books up, flip through them and put them down before taking a good look at the contents, Master Lu Chen is slightly bewildered. That's not it, I'm just taking a casual look. Xianxia shakes his head. Scanning the surrounding once again, he affirms that there are only these few books in here. Just as he is about to take his leave from the study, he suddenly catches sight of a pile of manuals placed not too far away from his current position. Curious, he asks, "These are?" "Oh, these are left behind by that disappointing son of mine. He likes brute strength, so he collected quite a few secret manuals on enhancing one's physical strength. In fact, he even went to the kingdom's book collection vault and moved all related books here." Master Lu Chen smiles bitterly. In the cultivation of a fighter, Xianxia is the most important factor of all. One's physical body only plays a small role in it, and it is not worth mentioning at all. Xianxia GT true essence. Although there is the Pigu realm which tempers one's skin and bones in a fighter's cultivation, what truly matters is still Xianxia. Only when one's Xianxia is pure and concentrated can they be truly strong. In the eyes of most cultivators, the physical body is just an auxiliary tool to one's strength, and is of little importance. Can I take a look? Seeing the thousands of secret manuals on heightening the strength of one's physical body, Xianxia feels a little moved. Thus, he can't resist the urge to ask Master Lu Chen for permission to browse through them. He possesses the library of Heaven's Path, so he doesn't need the cultivation techniques in his possession to be profound. With sufficient quantity, he is able to extract the essence of each to authenticate the true and the false and distill the truly useful portions from each of them. Even though training one's physical body may seem to be unimportant, and it may be unable to allow one's strength to soar up rapidly, if there are this many books to correct the errors and point out the correct path, the effects might turn out to be significant. Anyway, he doesn't have sufficient books in his hands on 6 Dan cultivation technique for him to raise his cultivation realm, so he might as well flip through these first. Perhaps, he might even get some pointers on it from the information contained within them. Little brother, feel free. Master Lu Chen smiles. Since he had already brought him in, he wouldn't be stingy about it, allowing him to browse through the books. I will be impertinent then. Xianxia nods his head and walks over to the pile of manuals. Just like before, he casually flips through them. Hualala. Hualala. He is. Looking at his actions by the side, Master Lu Chen is bewildered. I thought that he wanted to read the books. What is he doing, flipping through them like that? Could it be that these books do not fit his taste? That makes sense though. Given how he is trying to look for Fighter 6 Dan cultivation techniques, he is probably already at Fighter 5 Dan pinnacle. Given his current strength, he has already undergone the Pigu realm, and it matters not whether he trains his physical body or not. Perhaps, he might be browsing through them out of curiosity. Coming to a realization, he no longer bothers about it. Casually picking up a treasured painting left behind by a master, he examines it attentively. Xianxia finishes flipping through that pile of physical body enhancement techniques within 10 minutes or so. The correct cultivation method. Thousands of manuals appear in the library. Xianxia's mind jolts and light envelops his sight. Then, a flawless manual appears in his mind. Similar to the cultivation technique manuals from before, the book contains the perfect sequence of the correct methods recorded in the thousands of books. Let me take a look. Flipping over the cover, a line of words assaults him and enters his mind. Xianxia is reminiscent of water, whereas the physical body is the bucket containing the water. With a sturdy bucket, one can fill more water, and the quality of which would be higher. The opening verse causes him to feel enlightened. That's right. Xianxia's eyes light up. Previously, his thoughts were like the others. He felt that it is of no importance whether he cultivates his physical body or not. What truly matters is his Xianxia cultivation. Only upon reading this does he realize how shallow his thinking was. If one loses their skin, where can their hairs lodge into? The same goes for the relationship between Xianxia and one's physical body. Only a powerful physical body is capable of withstanding violent Xianxia strength to exert even greater prowess. Feeling as though a door has just opened before him, Xianxia can't resist the urge to read on. The more he reads, the more exhilarated he feels. The Xianxia within his body subconsciously follows the method recorded in the book and flows continuously. Jeji, Jeji. Under the flow of Xianxia, his physical body, which wasn't weak from the start, evolves once again. His muscle fibers thicken and his skin membrane becomes more sturdy. His body evolves towards a much more correct and rational path. Catcher, catcher. As his mind is absorbed in the explanations contained within the book, Xianxia isn't aware of the astounding changes that are occurring within his physical body. It is as though an infrastructure has been washed with molten metal. His body is gradually becoming a powerful weapon that surpasses that of ordinary humans. As expected of a technique filtered by the library, it is indeed formidable. From now on, I will call this Heaven's Path Golden Body. An hour later, Xianxia finally finishes his book. His Xianxia has also circulated a single time through his body according to the methods recorded in the book. 1. After he finishes naming the book glows radiantly and 4 large words appear on the cover of the book Heaven's Path Golden Body. In the future, I will have to make sure to train in it properly. I am already done training. After finishing the book, just when he has decided to cultivate using the methods recorded on it after returning, he realizes that he had unknowingly completed the cultivation of this body enhancement technique while looking through it. That is to say, he has mastered this body enhancement cultivation technique. There are no errors in the cultivation techniques of Heaven's Path, thus the pace of training is swift. Even though I knew this beforehand, never would have I expected that I would be able to master Heaven's Path Golden Body unknowingly like this. With the experience from Heaven's Path Divine Art, he knows that a flawless cultivation technique is much more effective and allows one to cultivate at an extremely rapid speed. Thus he had expected the cultivation of the Heaven's Path Golden Body to not be too difficult as well. Just that, he never imagined that he would complete the cultivation just by reading through the contents of it once. At this moment, he doesn't know whether he should laugh or cry. Forget it, even though I wasn't able to find sufficient 5-6 Dan cultivation techniques, my strength should have increased significantly with this set of physical body enhancement cultivation technique. Coming to Master Lu Chen's house, he might not have accomplished his objective of finding sufficient 5-6 Dan cultivation techniques, but in exchange, he received the Heaven's Path Golden Body, so it is still a meaningful trip. Just that, the physical body is different from Xianxia. Xianxia can be easily quantified and it isn't difficult to gauge how much strength one possesses after one is done with one's training. On the other hand, muscles are hidden beneath the skin, so it is hard to measure one's improvement clearly. That's to say, even though he has mastered Heaven's Path Golden Body, he has no idea how strong he has grown, or even whether his physical body had grown stronger or not. Of course, this isn't important. Since he has successfully completed his cultivation of it, he can simply find a strength measuring rock pillar when he returns to test his strength. What is little brother Xianxia doing? At this moment, Master Lu Chen, who accompanied him here, has his mind filled with question marks. While reading his book, he sneaked glances towards the other party occasionally. After flipping through the manuals, this fellow has been standing on the spot without moving at all for 2 whole hours by now. What the heck is he doing? Could it be that he has read too many books and went berserk? It isn't like this kind of situation has never happened before. In the past, there was an extremely talented genius in Xianxia Kingdom. The cultivation techniques and battle techniques that took other people 2 to 3 years to learn, he only took 2 to 3 days. This is precisely the reason why he wanted to learn all of the cultivation techniques and battle techniques to piece them together so as to create a set of new skills. In the end, before a new mystical cultivation technique could be born, he went berserk. The youngster before him was able to raise his level of cultivation to Fighter 5 Dan pinnacle at such a young age. At the same time, he possesses a master-level competency in painting. Could it be that, just like that senior, he got greedy and some problems popped up within him? Little brother. Filled with suspicions, he can't hold it in any longer. Thus, he steps forward and tries to interrupt Xianxia's thoughts to prevent him from sinking in even deeper. Just as Xianxia is impressed over the might of the Heaven's Path divine art, he hears a shout, and following which, a palm nudges his body. Oh, Master Lu Chen. Returning back to his consciousness, he hurriedly turns around and his shoulders accidentally bump into the latter. Pang! A deep echo and Master Lu Chen is sent flying instantaneously. His back knocks onto a bookshelf, and the books scatter on the floor. Chapter 52. Master Lu Chen on the verge of tears. Xianxia is taken aback. He didn't turn around that quickly, neither did he use that much strength. Why did Master Lu Chen fly backward? Could he be jumping around for fun? Master! He rushes forward to help the other party up. He places his palm on the back of Master Lu Chen's body to support him up. I'm fine. Sue. Before his words can escape his mouth, Master Lu Chen feels his entire body go weightless as he somersaults forward. His head knocks into another bookshelf, causing his face to be showered with books. Aye. The master is on the verge of tears. Are you playing with me? Must you use so much strength to help me up? Master. Seeing his current state, Xianxia rushes forward to continue helping him up. Upon seeing the sight, Master Lu Chen hurriedly struggles upwards and says, You. Don't come over. I can do it myself. Kang. Xianxia can only stop on the spot. He blinks his eyes as he looks at the elderly before him doubtfully. He can't help but ask the question that has been plaguing his mind. Master, are you jumping around for fun? Jumping around for fun. Master Lu Chen almost cries on the spot. The heck, you are the one who is jumping around for fun. Your whole family is jumping around for fun. I am a master painter, an elegant person. How bored must I be to be jumping around for fun? Besides, even if I wanted to play, I won't be doing it here. My collection of books, my treasures, are here. Master Lu Chen feels a stifling sensation in his chest which causes him to be short of breath. Why? Are you feeling uncomfortable in your chest? Xianxia walks forward to aid him, and he pounds his back to relieve his discomfort. No. Pang. Before Master Lu Chen can finish his words, Xianxia's fist lands on his back, causing his eyes to narrow. Sue. He flies forward and crashes into the wall of the study, creating a huge crevice in it. Master. Seeing him charge ahead, Xianxia scratches his head in bewilderment. What is this master trying to do? Jumping backward a moment ago and jumping forward now. Is he afflicted with epilepsy? If his epilepsy is acting up, it won't do for Xianxia to ignore his current situation. He immediately rushes forward towards Lu Chen to try to help him up again. Don't come over here. Master Lu Chen wipes the fresh blood off the corner of his lips and hurriedly retreats. He stares at the youngster before him as though staring at a monster, and he looks as though he could cry at any moment. I only felt a coldness in my heart. I am not trying to seek death. Your pound. Ayo, my old arms, my old legs. Master, what is going on? Seeing him in such a state, Xianxia asks. You acted so maturely a moment ago, so why would you pounce and leap around suddenly? What are you trying to do? What is going on? Master Lu Chen stares at him fearfully as tears threaten to fall from his eyes. You don't know what is going on? Fearing that you might have gone berserk, I came forward to remind you out of goodwill. Yet, with a single turn, you sent me flying. Then, you ran over to push me forward. The final blow was the most vicious of them all, a straight pound at my back. If it weren't for the slight cultivation that I possess, I might have lost my life already. Yet, you dare to ask me what is going on? Right when he is about to lash out, he sees the puzzled look on the youngster and he doesn't seem like he is lying. A thought flashes through his mind and he recalls something. With his eyes filled with disbelief, he asks, could you have just achieved a breakthrough? Indeed. Xianxia nods his head. Mastering the Heaven's Path golden body should be considered as a type of breakthrough. But, even if it's a breakthrough, it is impossible for one to improve so swiftly. Master Lu Chen finally understands what is happening, but he still dares not believe it. There are a few people who use special means to allow their cultivation to leap in an instant. After the gigantic soar in strength, their bodies are unable to adapt to the difference in strength in the short run, causing them to be unable to control their might. What seems like their normal exertion of strength would become an attack of full strength in the eyes of others. When one who possesses 100 kilograms of strength exerts a tenth of their strength, it would be only 10 kilograms. With such strength, they are able to freely lift cups and such without much hindrance. However, if one tries to use the same ratio of strength to lift a cup after his strength has suddenly surged to 10,000 kilograms, the overwhelming strength of 1,000 kilograms would exceed the durability of the cup and cause it to shatter instantly. It is very possible that this is the case with Xianxia. As the person in question isn't even aware of how much his strength has grown, thus it is natural that Lu Chen would be unable to take it when he is using his previous strength ratio to operate. He has read of this condition in books before, and it will take a period of time before the person in question is able to adapt to the difference in strength. Initially, he thought that it was only a legend. Never would he have thought that such a thing really exists. Just that, he finds it unbelievable that the strength of this fellow would surge by simply after flipping through some books and daydreaming away afterward. Could this be a sudden leap due to his deep accumulation? He might have happened to read something which caused his enlightenment, allowing him to break through in an instant. If that was the case, then his luck is really way too bad. Follow me to the lounge. While holding doubts in his mind, Master Lu Chen doesn't say anything more and instead, leads the way back to the lounge. It is easy to tell whether the situation is as he suspects. He only needs to find a strength measuring rock pillar for Xianxia to test his strength on. Since the youngster is seeking for Fighter 6 Dan cultivation techniques, then he surely has yet to break through Pishua realm. Since he had not reached Fighter 6 Dan, then as a Fighter 5 Dan pinnacle, he could only possess a maximum of 4 ding of strength. If his strength were to exceed this amount, this would mean that he has improved significantly. If so, the situation back then can be explained. In the lounge, Huang Yu and Bai Zun have yet to leave. They are still sitting in the living room as they stare in the direction of the study anxiously. They came here with a request, but Master Lu Chen took Xianxia away with him right after he finished testing him, not even giving them an opportunity to speak. At the same time, it isn't appropriate for them to leave abruptly, so they could only continue waiting patiently. Xiao Yu, just now that. Master Xianxia, has he really reached Fighter 5 Dan pinnacle? Bai Zun no longer views Xianxia hostilely as he did previously. On the contrary, his voice held a tinge of excitement. Actually, he isn't interested in painting at all. If it wasn't for his father coercing him, he definitely would not have come here. What truly interests him is cultivating. He only feels excitement upon meeting powerful people. All along, he had thought of himself as a genius. Despite being just 18 this year, he has already reached Fighter 5 Dan pinnacle. There aren't many in the capital who can compete with him in terms of cultivation speed. Yet, he didn't expect that a seemingly average young man who isn't much older than him would have reached such a realm as well. How can he not feel excited over this? I'm not sure as well. I've already told you that he only came to my store to buy books. I don't know much about him as well. However, since he is looking for Fighter 6 Dan cultivation techniques, he should have already reached Fighter 5 Dan pinnacle. Huang Yu says. As Xianxia has yet to make a move, they aren't very sure about Xianxia's exact prowess. However, since he is looking for 6 Dan manuals, it is very probable that he has already reached 5 Dan pinnacle. Otherwise, there is no point to him looking for such a high-tier manual. To be able to reach such a level at a young age, I wonder how powerful he is. Let me try it out myself later. Bai Zun titters. He is a battle maniac, and his heart can no longer suppress the urge to duel with someone of the same age who has attained the same level as him. Da. Just as the two of them are speaking, someone walks over. Turning around to take a look, the both of them are taken aback. Master Lu Chen, who was still incomparably elegant a moment ago, is currently extremely gloomy, and red blood fills his entire face as he walks over disheveled. Chapter 53. Bai Zun's breakdown. This. The crowd stare at one another, dumbfounded. This is Master Lu Chen, the Emperor's tutor. Who is the one who dared lay his hands on him, beating him into such a state? Besides, didn't you two go to the study? Why did he return like this? Could it be that they didn't go to the study to read books, but to fight? The elegant Master Lu Chen has such interest? I'm fine. Master Lu Chen waves his hands awkwardly. After all, he can't possibly say that. Xianxia has just achieved a breakthrough and unintentionally injured him due to lacking control of his strength. He also knows that it will be difficult to explain. Thus, Master Lu Chen walks over to the main seat, then turns to look at Uncle Cheng and says, "Ah Cheng, go and fetch a strength-measuring rock pillar over." He is a master painter, not a fighter. Thus, no strength-measuring rock pillars are placed in his lounge. However, as this item is related to one's cultivation, there are still a few of them in his house, so it will be fine bringing one over. Yes. Despite being unsure of what his master is up to, Uncle Cheng nods his head and retreats out of the room. Master Zhong, have you really reached Fighter 5 Dan Pinnacle? Upon seeing the room turn silent, Bai Zun can't resist walking up towards him with an excited expression. UN. It might be inconvenient to speak of it in the academy, but it isn't any secret here, so there's no need for Xianxia to conceal the fact. I'm also on the same level. May I exchange some blows with you? Hearing the young man's confirmation, Bai Zun's eyes burn with enthusiasm. Bai Zun, what are you doing? Look at where you are. Taken aback, Huang Yu quickly tries to advise him otherwise. Master Lu Chen is an elegant person, and he hates people arguing and fighting before him. Don't you think that it's a joke to be issuing a challenge in his lounge? It is just as Huang Yu said, Lu Chen doesn't like others to be brandishing their spears and swords before him. However, while the strength-measuring rock pillar isn't here yet, the best way to test whether Xianxia has improved is through Bai Zun. He is aware of the fact that the latter has reached Fighter 5 Dan Pinnacle. With the same level of cultivation, he should be able to see whether Xianxia's strength has surged. At this point, he raises his head and says, "I don't have any objections if it is just ordinary sparring. However, don't go too far." Great. Initially, Bai Zun thought that Master Lu Chen would object to it. However, contrary to his expectation, he approves. Bai Zun almost leaps up due to overwhelming excitement. With a delighted expression, he takes 2 steps towards the center of the lounge and with a cool pose, he beckons Xianxia. "Call me." All right. Xianxia has just completed his cultivation of Heaven's Path Golden Body, and he is curious to know how far his strength has progressed as well. Thus, he doesn't reject the other party's challenge and walks over to the center of the lounge as well. "The strength behind my fists are great, so be careful." With hardened eyes, Bai Zun no longer has that gentlemanly look he usually has, and replacing it is the aura of a powerful person unmatched by anyone. As Fighter 5 Dan Pinnacle, in terms of strength, he is above even Shong Bin. Huala. After gathering his might, Bai Zun steps forward. With his strength as a sword, the shock wave of his punch as a blade, he sends a jab straight towards Xianxia. To test his level of cultivation, Xianxia doesn't bother to look at the flaws on Bai Zun compiled in the Library of Heaven's Path, and instead, he faces his fist with one of his own. Who? The 2 fists connect midair and Xianxia frowns. Why is the strength behind his fist so lacking? Could it be that he isn't Fighter 5 Dan Pinnacle? Xianxia's fist goes straight through the other party's fist without slowing at all, completely overpowering him, as though a stone has met with a bubble. Thinking that the other party isn't well prepared and has yet to exert his full strength yet, Xianxia quickly reduces his strength by half. Even so, Bai Zun's face pales and he is sent flying like a rubber ball. Sue! He only comes to a stop when his back crashes onto a pillar forcefully. Why aren't you using your full strength? Retracting his fist, Xianxia walks forward and stretches out his hand to help the latter up. Don't! Upon seeing this sight, Master Lu Chen's eyes narrow. He immediately tries to stop them, but he is too late. Sue! Bai Zun, who was pulled by the young man, flies away like a kite who had its string snapped. With a whistle of the wind, he flies in the air once again. Paji! After flying for a dozen meters, his face crashes into the wall and fresh blood spurts out from his mouth and nose. Woo! Bai Zun almost cries on the spot. Big brother, I know that I'm not a match for you, but you don't have to be so merciless. My dashing features, my face. Why are you? Seeing Bai Zun fly away with a pull of his, Xianxia scratches his head with an innocent look. What are they doing? First Master Lu Chen, and now Bai Zun. Is it really all right for the both of you to be leaping around? If the two of them were to know the thoughts that are running through his mind, they would have surely vomited blood on the spot out of depression. You are the one who is leaping around. We were thrown by you, all right? This fellow. Standing by the side, Huang Yu's eyebrows twitch and she finds her head unable to cope. Bai Zun can be considered one of the outstanding ones among the younger generation. Except for a few others, he is practically unmatched. This is precisely the reason why he cultivated a competitive, but reluctant to admit defeat personality. He thought that the latter would not be able to match up to him in a duel, but never did he imagine that he would be sent flying with a single punch. He lost thoroughly. This fellow looks ordinary. How can he possess such overwhelming might? Are you all right? Unsure of what the others are thinking about, Xianxia walks up to Bai Zun with an apologetic look. I'm fine. Bai Zun struggles upwards and pats the dust off his clothes. As Fighter 5 Dan who has tempered his bones and skin, small wounds like these do not pose a problem. Great. I realized that you have not used your full strength previously. How about this? Let's spar once more with you using your full strength. Xianxia says with a serious expression. Again. Bai Zun's face twitches and he almost cries. If we were to continue fighting, I might die here. He immediately waves his hand and says, no need, Master is indeed stronger than me. I don't think there's a need to continue sparring. There's no need to be courteous, it is just friendly sparring, so you don't have to be so restrained. Also, don't call me Master, that sounds so distant. Xianxia thought that the other party was acting cautiously due to his identity as Master Lu Chen's peer, causing his reluctance to give his all in the spar, thus resulting in his weakness as perceived by Xianxia. When his cultivation had just reached Fighter 5 Dan Pinnacle, he crossed blows with Yarrow Han, and the latter gave him a lot of pressure through his formidable strength. Yarrow Han's cultivation realm is higher than Bai Zun, but as there isn't too much of a difference between the two, he thought that it would be the same as when he faced him. Yet, Bai Zun was sent flying with a single fist. Finding it unbelievable, he attributed it to him not exerting his full strength. Otherwise, with his 8 ding of strength, it is impossible for him to send a Fighter 5 Dan Pinnacle who possesses 4 ding of strength flying with a single fist. Spar. Bai Zun trembles in fear. You call this sparring? With just that single fist of yours, I almost ascended to the heavens. You know that? Besides, as a fellow peer of Grandpa Lu Chen, what do I call you if not Master? A thought flashes through his mind and his face twitches, seemingly on the verge of tears. Since you said that it feels distant calling you Master, then why don't I call you Grandpa? Grandpa Zhong, I admit my mistake, okay? I shouldn't have been so hostile towards you, so I beg of you, stop asking me to spar with you. The strength measuring rock pillar is here. At this moment, Uncle Cheng walks over and sees such a sight unfolding before him. Upon hearing Bai Zun's shouting plea, he petrifies on the spot. What? Chapter 54. Hongjin Pearl Fruit. Who is this? The sole son of the #1 authoritative subject of Qianxian Kingdom, Zhennan Wang. For him to be crying Zhongxian as his grandpa? Surely I am hearing things. Uncle Cheng only feels his vision blurring before him and almost loses consciousness. I just stepped away for a moment to grab a strength-measuring rock pillar. What happened? Can anyone enlighten me? Cough cough. All right. Little brother Zhongxian, there are plenty of opportunities for the both of you to spar in the future. Bai Zun is injured and needs to regulate his cultivation for a while. Anyway, since the strength-measuring rock pillar is already here, I think it would be best for you to try out your strength first. Sensing the awkwardness of the situation, Master Lu Chen quickly steps in. All right. Seeing that Bai Zun is unwilling to spar, Zhongxian shakes his head in disappointment. He looks at the strength-measuring rock pillar which is just inserted into a crevice on the ground and walks over to it. With a slight smile, he says, "Actually, I have tested my strength yesterday and it was about 4 ding or so. There probably won't much of a difference testing it today." It was just this morning that he had beaten Yao Han into a pig head. Before that, he had tested his strength and had ascertained it to be 8 ding. He had been busy the entire day. Furthermore, without a cultivation technique for him to cultivate, not a single one of his acupoints have been broken through yet. Thus, there shouldn't be a rise in his strength. Although he has cultivated the Heaven's Path Golden Body, in Zhongxian's opinion, even if there was an improvement with his physical body, it can't possibly rival up to the significance of Xianxia in determining one's might. As for why he said that his strength is 4 ding, it is because this is the standard strength the Dingli Realm Pinnacle would possess. He doesn't want to reveal too much of his secrets. At worst, he just has to hold back half of his strength when testing it later on. Since the pillar has been brought here, give it a try. Master Lu Chen says. All right. Zhongxian smiles as he accepts the offer. With the intention to only use half of his strength, his fist flies towards the rock pillar before him. His fist propels forward as though a lightning strike, and the shock wave of his fist causes the wind to rustle. Pang! Light shines from the pillar and figures start to slowly appear on it. Look, as I said, 4 ding. Seeing the figures that had floated onto the surface of the pillar, Zhongxian waves his hands and turns around to look at the others with a smile. However, before he could finish his words, he sees Bai Zun, Huang Yu, Master Lu Chen and Uncle Cheng look at him as though he is a monster. Every single one of their eyes are almost popping out of their sockets. What's the matter? Zhongxian frowns. He lowers his head to look at himself. There shouldn't be anything off about him though. Look at the strength-measuring rock pillar again. Huang Yu says in agitation. What is wrong with the strength-measuring rock pillar? Isn't it just 4 ding? Do you all have to be so shocked? Turning around to take a look, Zhongxian's body staggers and he almost falls to the floor. Unsure of when it happened, but the number 9 had appeared behind the number for that he saw previously. Putting it together. 49. The fist that I just threw had the strength of 49 ding? Zhongxian is also astonished. When he tested it this morning, he only had 8 ding of strength. Furthermore, he intentionally restrained half of his strength when striking on the rock pillar, so how could he had possibly reached a might of 49 ding? Doesn't this mean that if he didn't contain his strength, his fist could hold a might of almost 100 ding behind it? A Fighter 5 Dan Dingli Realm Pinnacle possesses 4 ding of strength, while the strength of a Pishua Realm Pinnacle expert wouldn't exceed 80 ding. To be capable of hitting 100 ding with his fist, doesn't this mean that his strength is equal to a Fighter 6 Dan Pishua Realm expert, surpassing the latter even? Could it be that the strength-measuring rock pillar is malfunctioning? A thought flashes through his mind and Zhongxian can't resist raising his doubt. The rock pillar isn't malfunctioning. Didn't you achieve a breakthrough in the study previously? It caused your strength to soar. Furthermore, you have yet to adapt to your newfound strength. That's why you thrashed Bai Zun so overwhelmingly. Seeing his thoughts being verified, Master Lu Chen explains. Initially, he wanted to say that he himself was beaten into a pulp by Zhongxian, but he stopped at the crucial point. After all, no matter what, he is still a master and has to consider his reputation. A breakthrough? An inflation from 4 ding to 49 ding? It can't be that you broke through 45 acupoints at once. It is one thing to not hear his explanation, but the moment they hear it, by Zun and Huang you almost faint on the spot. Surely you are jesting? At Fighter 6 Dan Pishua Realm, one opens up his acupoints to raise one's cultivation. For every acupoint opened, one will gain 1 ding of strength. It is said that there are a total of 108 acupoints in the human body. However, only 72 of which can be opened. Furthermore, there is a specific order to opening these acupoints. Due to the difference in physique for every individual, they require a different sequence in breaking through them to achieve the optimal effect. If one fails to find the ideal sequence, they could possibly only end up opening 30 to 40 acupoints in their life and find themselves unable to advance forward. Normally, one breaks through them one by one, and one's strength will increase slowly 1 ding at a time. For Xianxia's strength to increase by 45 ding in an instant. Dude, you are about to bash through the heavens. It is not that I have never seen people breaking through, but I have never seen someone break through in such a way. Actually, it isn't just the others who are giddy and in a state of disbelief, even Xianxia himself doesn't know what is going on. Was such a massive improvement induced just from cultivating Heaven's Path Golden Body? Allowing his strength to increase by 90 ding instantaneously? Normally, when he casually sent Master Lu Chen flying and defeated by Zun, he should have understood how much of an improvement he had made and how much his strength had grown by, and not be as ignorant as he is now. However, as a transcender and someone who has just started cultivating 2 days ago, it is already incredible that he is able to control his cultivation to exert the correct amount of strength. Going into the specifics to control his strength, so as to manipulate it as he pleases, is simply expecting too much of him. This is just like an ordinary person who is suddenly granted superhuman strength. He wouldn't be able to get used to it initially, and, perhaps, might even feel slightly lost about the matter. This is exactly the situation that is occurring with Xianxia. Initially, he only possessed 8 ding of strength. However, it suddenly increased by 90 ding, an increment of more than tenfold. Furthermore, as this increment originates from his physical body, it is undetectable. Rather, it would be weird if he knew it in advance. It is already a blessing for him to not have reduced by Zun into a lump of meat. Little brother Zhong, you can't possibly have opened 45 acupoints just now? Seeing him in a daze, Master Lu Chen asks slowly. It is unheard of to open 45 acupoints in an instant. But if that isn't the case, where could have the sudden boost of strength possibly came from? I am still Dingli Realm Pinnacle. My cultivation has yet to advance. Just that, my physical body grew stronger by a bit. Xianxia says. Physical body? Master Lu Chen is astounded, not daring to believe what he has just heard. I have heard that there are some treasures in the world that allow one's physical body to rival steel when consumed, giving one the strength equivalent to a Pishua Realm Pinnacle. Could it be that it is possible to reach such a level through cultivating one's physical body as well? Kang. I seem to have eaten some unidentifiable fruit today. Initially, I felt my body heat up after eating it, but I didn't pay much heed to it. Perhaps, that could be the reason for the sudden increase in the strength of my physical body. Xianxia says. As a member of modern civilization, he understands the logic that possessing a treasure beyond one's ability will attract calamity. If he were to acknowledge that he has reached such a level through cultivation, innumerable people might go red-eyed and try to extort him of his cultivation technique. Perhaps, some might even kidnap him to research on. Since Master Lu Chen had mentioned that there are some treasures that can induce a massive enhancement in one's physical body, he decided to go along with it. Fate, this is truly fate. Master Lu Chen doesn't doubt Xianxia's words at all. Actually, it isn't that he isn't doubtful, but even if he is, he has no choice but to believe Xianxia's words. For one's physical strength to increase by a few dozen ding through 2 hours of cultivation? Isn't this daydreaming? It is as laughable as trying to get a male to bear children. Rather than believing that nonsense, it is more probable that he might have consumed some treasure. May I know the appearance of the fruit that little brother ate? Master Lu Chen continues asking. Appearance. Xianxia scratches his head. He was spouting nonsense, so how could he have possibly known how it would look like? However, since they have already gotten to this point, Keeping silent would seem much more suspicious instead. Thus, he replies, it is a red-colored fruit. Previously, when he was flipping through the books in the Academy's Compendium Pavilion, he recalls seeing a record of a fruit similar to what Lu Chen has just described. The book is an epic of a person's travels, and a character in it had eaten a red-colored fruit and had his strength raised massively. At this moment, he could only blindly try his luck. Red-colored? Could it be crimson-colored? Indeed, it is that thing. Master Lu Chen seems to have thought of something, and his breathing hastens. Master knows of it. It is the Hongjin pearl fruit. Legend has it that consuming it will allow one's physical body to soar rapidly, granting one the strength that even a Pishua realm pinnacle expert is unable to withstand. Master Lu Chen says excitedly. Hongjin pearl fruit? Zhong Xian says with a bizarre look on his face. Could it be that such a thing really exists? Chapter 55. Surrounded chatting for a moment longer, Zhong Xian was questioned on where he obtained the Hongjin pearl fruit from. He casually replies that he got it from the market, causing Master Lu Chen and the rest to exclaim at his fortune. Right, brother Zhong Xian, are you a local or? Lu Chen asks. I am a teacher at Hongqian Academy. Zhong Xian replies. No wonder you possess such strength and a deep understanding towards painting. Master Lu Chen praises him. He turns around to Huang Yu and Bai Zun, who are sitting by the side, and says, painting can mold a person's personality and train their character. Don't let fighting and killing occupy your mind all day long. Since brother Zhong Xian is a teacher of the academy, go and visit him to learn from him whenever the both of you are free. I will consider giving the person who learns a thing or two from him a pass and give them what they want. Yes. Huang Yu replies with a bitter expression, whereas Bai Zun's eyes are glittering with excitement. Through their crossing of blows, he understands that Zhong Xian's current ability far surpasses him. To be able to learn from such an expert is definitely much more interesting than simply just learning boring painting. At the very least, he feels more relaxed learning from him than Master Lu Chen. My apologies for the sudden intrusion today. It is getting a little late, so Master, I will be bidding you farewell. I will visit you another day. After accomplishing what he came for, Zhong Xian decides to take his leave and clasps his hands together towards Lu Chen. This time, you came here to look for Fighter 6 Dan cultivation techniques, but it is a pity that I don't have many of them here. I will speak to Xianxia about this matter a few days later to bring you to the kingdom's book collection vault to browse through them. It just happens that he seems to be out hunting these few days, so he isn't in the capital at the moment. Master Lu Chen says. You have my utmost gratitude, Master. Hearing these words, Zhong Xian's eyes light up. It is impossible to find more than a few Fighter 6 Dan cultivation technique manuals at any ordinary location. However, in the kingdom's book collection vault, the location that is reputed to have the most complete collection of books in Xianxia Kingdom, he is surely able to find many of them. If he is able to enter the vault to browse through the Fighter 6 Dan cultivation techniques, he might be able to form Heaven's Path Divine Art and break through successfully. You're too courteous. Lu Chen nods his head with a smile. Leaving the master's residence, Zhong Xian heads towards the academy. The sun had already set when he was still having dinner with Shun by Ru. At this moment, the moon hangs high up in the sky, illuminating the ground with a cold silver glow. Going by the clock of his previous life, it should be around 12 already. Despite the time, he doesn't feel fatigued in the least. Instead, his eyes are glowing with exhilaration. The trip to the master's residence was truly worth it. Compiling the Heaven's Path golden body has propelled the strengthening of his physical body, causing his prowess to soar. With his current cultivation, even if he were to meet with a Pishua realm pinnacle expert, he would be able to easily subdue them. Besides, he also found a dozen books or so on Fighter 6 Dan cultivation techniques. Even if it is insufficient for him to compile a complete version of Heaven's Path Divine Art, it should still be beneficial to his training. My physical body has already reached 90 ding of strength. If I were to find higher tier physical body enhancement techniques, will I grow even stronger? There may be many different secret manuals on training one's physical body in Master Lu Chen's study, but they were the simplest and most basic cultivation methods. If such books could possess such effects after being compiled by the Library of Heaven's Path, does this mean that if he were to assemble together a set of more profound physical body cultivation manuals, the book compiled would be even more incredible? If this is true, his physical body will probably play a significant part in his battle prowess in the future. Just as he is immersing himself in his delight, his ears suddenly quiver. The growth in strength of his physical body has also caused his hearing and vision to sharpen. He suddenly realizes that someone is stalking him. His footsteps sway and he comes to a stop. Those friends who are following behind me, come out. I didn't expect that you would be so wary. What is the use of being wary? Lad, you made us lose money, don't even dream about escaping from us today. Hualala. As his voice trails off, a few human silhouettes dash out from the darkness and surround him. Every one of them look at Xianxia coldly, as though staring at a corpse. It's you all. Xianxia recognizes them. He recognizes two of those in the group as Master Mo Yang, who was exposed in the market earlier today by him, and the artifact dealer who was working with him. The remaining few should be the supports who were hidden within the crowd. At this moment, Master Mo Yang's face is swollen red and the skin around his eyes is bruised black. A few parts of his clothes are torn off and he no longer possesses the serene and enlightened disposition and appearance from before. In fact, if one were to claim that he is a beggar on the street, people would believe him. Looks like after being exposed, those victims didn't let him off the hook so easily. But that's to be expected as well. After all, which of those who were able to engage in the expensive sport of treasure speculation didn't come from extraordinary families? After realizing that they were scammed, they can already be considered to be kind for not killing him on the spot. The artifact dealer doesn't seem to be in a much better state than him. His two eyes are bruised black and two sausage-like swells hang by his mouth, causing his speech to be indistinct. Glaring at Xianxia, the resentment and anger in their gazes are clear to see. This was a ploy that they spent a fortune to set up, only for it to be wrecked by this young man here. Not mentioning how they had to spit out the meat that was already in their mouths, they even almost got beaten to death. Thus, it is understandable that they would feel intense resentment against him. You little bastard, you sure ran away fast back then. Let's see where you can run off to now. A maniacal gleam flashes across the eyes of the artifact dealer. You all want to kill me. Noticing the aura of the surroundings growing eerily cold, Xianxia frowns. If you have to blame it for your big mouth for saying things that shouldn't be said. In your next life, remember to keep your mouth in check. Master Mo Yang sneers savagely as he clenches his fists, causing Jia sounds to echo in the surroundings. The reason why their fraud failed was due to this fellow. It took them a while before they managed to find him, so naturally, they wouldn't allow him to escape easily. I'm sorry, but I don't wish to die for now, and neither do I wish to keep my mouth in check. Xianxia says. You don't wish to die. Ruthlessness flickers across in the eyes of Master Mo Yang. This isn't up to you. Brothers, kill him, slice him apart and feed him to the dogs. Roger. With a cold snort, one of the support steps forward and lifting his arms up, he sends a palm down towards Xianxia. The moment he makes his move, his cultivation realm is made apparent. Fighter 5 Dan Pinnacle. No wonder he could still escape to Xianxia Kingdom to conduct fraud even after being outlawed by Liuzhu Kingdom. He does indeed possess some capabilities. If it was yesterday night, even if Xianxia was able to emerge victorious against this fellow, he would have to utilize the strength of the Library of Heaven's Path to exploit his weakness. However, with an overwhelming progress in the strength of his physical body, possessing nearly 100 ding of strength now, Dingli Pinnacle means nothing to him now. Chuckling softly, he sends a slap towards his attacker. You're courting death. Number 4's nickname is Metal Palms. His hands are capable of splitting rocks. Back then, in Liuzhu Kingdom, a Pishua realm primary stage was killed by a single palm of his. Yet, this fellow dares to exchange blows with him without any preparation? The ignorant sure are fearless. To think that we were done in by such a fellow, what misfortune! Seeing that fellow going against number 4 without dodging at all, Master Mo Yang and the rest sneer. This support may not seem unexceptional, but his strength isn't for show. His palms are capable of even striking through metal. What does a young man who isn't even 20 mean before that? To face it head on, what else can he be doing other than courting death? Just when they thought that Xianxia will be crippled by the blow, they see the one whom they call number 4 metal palms being as weak as a slab of tofu. Unable to withstand Xianxia's blow, his bones shatter and his rib cage sinks in as he is blasted away by the force of the blow. His head stabs onto the ground first, causing him to look like a bulb of wild onion. Thank you for listening to Panda Audiobooks. If you love what you hear and want to support my work, check out the PayPal link in the description. Every bit helps. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell to stay updated with all our latest audiobook chapters. We'll see you in the next one.